Hey folks, I wanted to do a quick video in terms of what I would what I would do if I were in government in South Africa right now as we speak. Things that I would immediately do immediately without delay, without delay. Obviously, um, this assumes Uguti I have a majority in parliament, therefore I can get these things over the finish line, which is normally obviously what you need to get any of these things done. Um, Assume I have an absolute majority in parliament and I'm in the union building, I'm the president. This is what I would do immediately. Immediately. The first thing that I would do is to call an emergency sitting of parliament, and this emergency sitting will meet to discuss the issues around immigration. And we won't go to recess until we have solved it. And one of the first things that I'll do is build a wall, build a border wall. The entire length and breadth of the border between South Africa and Zimbabwe, I will put a border wall. That should take a couple of months. And then once that's done, then I'll still put a border wall between South Africa and Botswana. I'll put a border wall all around where it is physically possible between South Africa and Namibia. Where, just to say the entire length and breadth of the South African northern border, I'll put a border wall. And when it comes to this, there's already a provision in our law that says that puts where you exempt BE requirements for projects that are urgent and things like that. And I'll put exemptions for BE requirements for that because that needs to happen within a matter of 18 months to 24 months. That wall needs to be done in a matter of 18 to 24 months. At the most, 36 months, that wall needs to be done. Meaning from the time that I'm in office, from the time that I'm sworn into office to the time that the wall is complete, it can't take more than 36 months. And that might include getting in here foreign workers to come and do it, foreign workers from China, from whatever. Get it done. Get it done in 18 months to 36 months. Number one. Number two, I'll cut taxes across the board. Taxes. The VAT, for instance, value added tax in South Africa, which is right now, from what I understand, is 15.5%. I will cut that all the way down to 5%. Cut it from 15.5% to 5%. Income taxes for individuals, I'll cut it from, because the highest earners in South Africa, if you're earning 1 million rands per year and higher, you pay for 45% income tax. I'll cut that all the way from 45% to 28%. No one who earns a salary in South Africa should be paying more than 28% in income taxes. And then in terms of the lowest earners who are paying tax, which is people who earn 180,000 rands per year, I would lower their income tax burden to 4% or even lower to 2%. And if people are married, couples would even get maybe 2% more tax breaks, because married couples contribute more to society in terms of spending and all these other things. There is a justification to have them pay less taxes. If you and your wife earn 1 million rands per year each, instead of paying 28% individually, you'd pay 25% individually, which means that you get an additional what? Actually, you get an additional 6% tax break if you are married. That doesn't take a lot of time to do. It doesn't take a lot of time to do. Capital gains tax from 28% to 10%. And then immediately, without any delay, I'll put tariffs in tariffs on steel and aluminium. Maybe starting at 50% tariffs to maybe 100% tariffs. And then I'll go in further and say pharmaceuticals, drugs, all of these things that are used, medicines, pills, and all that stuff, 50% to 100% tariffs. And then I'll call a urgent meeting for all platinum buyers who buy platinum from South Africa, and that obviously means everyone who does anything that has to do with platinum. All of the catalyst manufacturers, they buy their platinum from South Africa. I'll call a meeting with them and say that they must, if they want South African platinum, they must manufacture 50% of all of their catalysts must be manufactured in South Africa. It's non-negotiable. That will be a requirement that can be enforceable because 78% of the world's platinum comes from South Africa. So they need it. If OPEC can control the world based on the fact that they have oil and we need oil, then we can also control the world when it comes to platinum. 78% of platinum in the world comes from South Africa. And that's non-negotiable. One thing that people will need to realize is that in order for you to get what you want in the world, sometimes you need to put your foot on the ground. No fucking around, not being a Mr. Nice Guy, not busy pussyfooting around. You need to put your foot on the ground. All of these great nations who have successful economies didn't get to the point where they are by being nice. Being Mr. Nice Guy has to stop. Has to stop. Some of these things would have an immediate impact on the South African economy. Some of them, the impact you start to see in a couple of years' time. But all of these things, we would see their impact in less than 5 years. And these are the things that can be done within 6 months of being sworn into president. This is why, ladies and gentlemen, I say to you, I can't support the Democratic Alliance. You know why? Because on the issue of taxes, they voted with the ANC to raise taxes. On the issue of immigration, they are also busy being ambiguous about border policy, border security, and illegal immigration. Almost every single one of these parties who are in the government of national unity are on the wrong side on the issue of immigration. Every single one of them. From John Steenhuisen to Mmusi Maimane to the IFP. Every single one of them. They are hearing South Africans complain bitterly every day about the impact that illegal immigration is having on their lives, and none of them care about it. This is why, on the issue of tax, on the issue of illegal immigration, this is why the Democratic Alliance is not an option for me, among other reasons. And on the issue of all of these things of industrial policy and tariffs, they are also on the wrong side of all these matters. This is why when I'm telling you that the Democratic Alliance is not fit to govern, this is the reason why they are not fit. This is the reason they are not fit. The Democratic Alliance and the ANC are basically identical when it comes to policy. When it comes to economic policy, and when it comes to industrial policy, and when it comes to border control and immigration. They are identical. They are all weak on the border. They are weak on immigration. They're weak on. And then once we build a border wall, then we start deporting millions of these illegals. You can't obviously like deport these people until you've built a border wall. You need to close the tap first. Close the tap by building a strong border wall, and then start deporting them. And this is something that requires people who are serious about this. And none of these people are serious about this. These people are not serious about this, the lives of South Africans. Every single one of them. Whether it's the ANC or the DA or Mmusi Maimane's BOSA or the Freedom Front Plus or the IFP or UDM or EFF, anybody, these people are not serious about fixing the problems that are facing South Africans. They're not serious. And because they are not serious, the only thing, for instance, the DA runs on is that we are not corrupt. Tell me, what does corruption or lack of corruption has anything to do with anything that I just mentioned here? These are the things that will really change the lives of South Africans. And corruption has nothing to do with them. This is why when I'm saying that the DA is not fit, it's policy issues. They are not fit when it comes to policy. any political party that can look at South Africa right now and go into parliament and vote to raise taxes on South Africans, that party is not fit to be in government, and that's the Democratic Alliance. So this is, and so I mean, I made more than 5 videos that are focused on policy, but they are long videos, so you can go have a look at them. That look at each and every policy issue that I think is important, that would add millions of jobs in South Africa, create a GDP that grows at 5% or 6% per year. And some of those issues, including the issue of energy. Energy is a big part of it. And the Democratic Alliance also is as busy, it's ambiguous on energy policy. Folks, 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 the Democratic Alliance is not the solution to our problems. They are not. They are clueless on most policy issues that are the most important. They are clueless on the border. They are clueless on trade. They are clueless on industry. They are clueless on energy. The key issues that will lower our unemployment rate from 45% to maybe around 9%, 10%. Cheers.